So what if I gotta take a few moves back? You're gonna let me errata this thing. Yeah, I forgot my trigger. Yeah, I don't know how this thing works. I don't care. Let me.
Clear the table, grab the dice. Grizzly and Jesse are in the house. Welcome to Rolling Recklessly, where the battle lines meet the sky. May your crits be high, may your pain never dry, and your rolls be ever reckless.
Strap in, because this is where things change. Season 3 of Rolling Recklessly starts right now, and we're not just showing up the same way we did before. We've taken the reps, we've taken the losses, and we learned hard lessons, and now we're here to level up. Bigger games, better plays, smarter decisions, and a whole lot less throwing matches away because things got a little too reckless. Well, maybe a little less reckless.
Hey man, we gotta be reckless because we stay reckless. And yeah, here it is, boys and girls. Season 3. It's finally here. Thanks for waiting. Thanks for being patient. We're excited to be back in studio reckless. And we're bringing it hard and we're bringing it reckless.
Yeah, let's do it. This season we're tightening up the structure, we're sharpening the gameplay, and we're bringing you guys along for the full ride. From the hobby desk to tournament table to full-on competitive chaos. And if you've been rocking with us since the beginning, you already know what this thing is. But if you're brand new, welcome to the show. I'm Grizzly, and this is my co-host Jesse, and we've been talking about this for weeks, man. Season 3, new mindset, real improvements. How are you feeling heading into this?
I'm excited. We are just burgeoning. We are blooming. We are coming into our prime in this hobby, in Age of Sigmar, I feel.
It's almost like spring has sprung, you might say.
Oh, definitely. You know, a burgeoning war grove for you, right?
Exactly. All right. So with all that said, let's get into it. So, this is where we really start setting the tone for Season 3. This week of Sigmar. This is the segment where we break down what we've actually been doing on the hobby desk, on the table, and what we've been learning along the way. Because it's one thing to talk about getting better, it's another thing to actually start putting in the work. So, let's start where it always starts, the hobby desk. And I'm not gonna lie, this week has been a big one for me. So I went through my entire Sylvaneth case this week, like everything, and pulled out everything, all my unpainted models. And honestly, I'm pretty proud to say at this point, the only thing that isn't really painted is one unit of Kurnoth Hunters with bows. Which I feel is really good considering like where I started, how many models I have, but this project is big this week. I finished Belthanos, and dude, I went all in on the base for this one. I added a full water feature, running through the middle, and gave it all kind of like living forest of like Iran energy, and it came out way better than I expected. And then on top of that, I got Lady of Vine started. She's primed. I got 2 layers of painter on her. She's dry brushed. I did like the Xandri dust in the moot green. I really like that for my Sylvaneth. She still needs like some wash. I need to do like her trim and like highlights, that kind of stuff. But she's really starting to take shape. That's been my progress this week. What have you been working on, Jesse?
Oh yeah, you know, before I get into what I get into, like, yeah, I saw your base on your Belthanos, and I love that water feature, and your basing abilities have just grown like to a level that I didn't even imagine. You've gotten so good at basing. So shout out to your Belthanos, bro. You know, I love Belthanos, and I don't really think Belthanos like fits your list right now. We won't get too into that right now, but I like how you at least have him battle ready in case you decide, hey, I want to put this in my list.
Yeah.
And you never know what the future holds. New GHBs, you might be like, this Belthanos, I'm glad I have it ready. Your army, it's one of the best looking Sylvaneth armies I've seen. I
thank you, man. I appreciate it. I put in a ton of time. Like you've seen it. You saw it go from like gray to painted, which is cool, right? Like I didn't have nothing painted. Yeah. I had like very basic. I had my dryads painted and stuffed away in a box.
Our games are so beautiful now.
I know, it's like it's like a good expression. It looks really nice.
It's so thematic, bro. It's like it looks so earthy. You know what I mean? Like you got the hippie army, bro.
I do for sure. That's man. I've been telling you all this whole time. That's my vibe. I've been enjoying it. And my army, I feel like really like reflects that. You know.
For sure.
But
as for me, like What did I get done? Okay, so
you got a lot.
I got a lot done. I got a lot
I can see why it's overwhelming. Yeah.
So first and foremost, we're preparing for the next tournament. I know we just came off of one. You guys are insane. You're jumping into another one. But House of Hobbies is just always dangling a carrot in the form of a GT or RTT. And, I'm just addicted to playing the game right now. So I'm joining. I'm paying the cost to play with the bosses. And
bro, it's Slaanesh is like leading House of Hobbies, like Joel.
Excess.
Bro, you giving us too much, bro. And that's like, I'm just over here just stuffing my face.
Okay, if Rick is the Lord of Change, then Joel's the Lord of Excess.
Yep. All right, now we've already identified in our local scene who the Chaos Guards are.
Yeah, identifying chaos is the first way to make sure it doesn't take root. So, and as order representatives, bro, we got to make sure we nip this thing in the bud.
But don't tell anybody.
But yeah, so as we prepare for this next tournament, I'm thinking, all right, what's going to be in the list and what do I need to get done? So I'm adding a Knight Judicator with Griffhounds to my list. He's that bow hero standing on the rock with the two little Griffhounds. He's just got a lot of utility. I saw him being used by Hawkins. I think last Friday, I saw him in one of his lists, and I was just like, Knight Judicator's worth it. He's like, oh, absolutely. It's got a great shot. So I was like, okay, perfect. So
he was running him yesterday, and even when I left, the Knight Judicator was still left.
Yeah, I like the Knight Judicator a lot. So I'm running him and a unit of Praetors in the new list. So I had to get them painted up. And I wanted to continue this green color scheme that Blake had showed me, and that he, had sold me some models that were already in this paint scheme. And I was like, okay, I kind of like the idea that all my bow units are this green.
It's really cool because, it is. It's like you said, like all my range units,
they're green.
They're this paint scheme. Yeah, I think you gotta do like your prosecutors now.
With Stormcast, things can start to look samey when everything's in like gold and silver and blue armor. So I'm like, put a green unit in there. They're gonna know what shoots. They're gonna know what's dangerous. So
yeah,
I liked it a lot. So I took a little painting lesson. It was a few hours, but I took a lesson with Blake. Shout out to you, Blake. Thank you so much. A little teaser for our listeners. We might have Blake on the show next week to give us some insight into the painting world. But stay tuned for that. But yeah, he gave me an excellent lesson, and he made painting so approachable. Like I know for me, painting is kind of like the bottom tier thing. Like I like playing foremost, building second, and painting very last. And that kind of triforce of like power, wisdom, and courage. That's for like you as the player to decide like which one's at the top and which one's at the bottom and which one's at in the middle.
Yeah, some people like when they're participating in the hobby, they only do like one. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and if they don't build, they just paint, or they just play. You know what I mean? Or they just do one or the other. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And after hanging out with Blake and taking his painting lesson, I realized like, oh yeah, this is a paint first mind, and so that's perfect for me, who's a paint last mind, to try to bridge that gap. And I got to tell you, after taking a lesson with Blake, he's got such a good teaching mind. He's got such a good voice for teaching. Like it's like getting a private painting lesson with Bob Ross, bro.
Yeah. It's just like he's like Bob Ross.
He's the Bob Ross of Warhammer.
He is the Bob Ross of Warhammer.
He is not going to like that.
But that's sick, man. I'm down. I'm trying to get some chill time with Blake. He seems like a super good mind to be around, especially when it comes to like you're learning like paint scheme and like schematic, and I feel like that's like for me that's a good way for me to process and learn things, because I'm just like you. Like I'm not very like paint minded. The fact that like I go through like these like spurts where I can like sit there and I get like this like artistic like tick, you know, and I can like, oh cool, I can do some fun stuff, I can do some cool stuff I'm excited about, but it's not like I'm where you are. I like the playing. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I just don't want to show up with like gray.
Yeah. I want to play, but I don't want to be ashamed of my units when I put them on the table.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you look at my army, you're like, all right, cool. It's like, it is what it is. It says what it's like. You know what I mean? It looks nice. Like, there's nothing that's like, oh, this guy.
Part of this hobby that I didn't include in that little Triforce is the acquiring of models. Like that, that's a whole nother like branch vein there. And
that's my favorite part of the hobby.
This week, bro, it was big for your boy. Let me tell you, I went over to Hobby Forge over in Surprise, Arizona. Shout out to Hobby Forge, bro. It's over there on Bell and Dysart. If you're in the area, check them out. They just hit their 1-year anniversary. They had some pre-built models in their case for sale, and they had a nice percentage discount if you were buying 2. And I saw Lord Celestin and a Catacross, bro, and I had to have them. So I got my Catacross and a Lord Celestin. I mean a Celestin Prime.
Celestin Prime.
Celestin Prime, yeah. So it was amazing pickups, bro. And then the very next day, I saw a little post in one of the Discords that somebody was just trying to get rid of their OBR. It was kind of just gathering dust, and they just wanted like $100. So I was just like, well, here you go. I'm in. And I just scored a whole bunch of OBR. It's all painted. It's somewhat based. And I just love it that I'm like assembling this army that's like I'm having different people paint it. It's a little less personal than the Stormcast. So it's just crazy that you can amass as much of an army as you want and pay the cost that you want if you're willing to look.
Yeah, if you just see out there's like deals out there, because when someone gets an army, you can see they spend a ton of time, effort, money into getting and acquiring all these models, and then after a while they're like, all right, man, I'm over it, and then there's still value to them. So if you look in the second market and it's just like you post, and then for the buyer it's like a great deal because it's usually a fraction of the price of MSRP.
As long as their rules aren't sunset, the models will retain their value, bro. At least 50% of MSRP if it's still in the box, bro. And then depending on how well it's painted, it either adds or takes away value.
Yeah, but for me, some people will sell the built model. They'll build it and prime it and then sell it for like half the price of MSRP. I'm like, nice, you did all the
hard stuff and then you gave it to me for half off.
Yeah, then give it to me for half off. That's
God bless you.
Yeah, exactly. It's just no wonder I have so many models. You know, like it makes sense.
Yeah, but shout out to you, Hank was the gentleman's name. He was participating at a 40K RTT over at Tabletop Wargamers. That's over there in
in Avondale.
Yeah,
nice. So they did. He was part of that RTT.
Yeah, so I have now been to every Warhammer shop in like at least the West Valley area.
Bro, I keep discovering there's more than we think there is.
There's so much more than we think there is, bro.
Yeah, there's that Spearhead tournament they've been advertising. I'm like, where is that? And they're like, oh, it's over here.
Yeah.
There's like a secret little spot in this alley that's like, they just sell like secondhand Warhammer stuff. I'm like, is this stuff stolen?
Yeah, it's like a spot might have 2 or 3 tables, and then you go to this other spot, it's like 15, and you're like, what the heck?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was big like this.
It's really cool. It's cool to see all the different scenes. I just joined the Silver Dragon Discord. Okay. And they have like a little scene on there of like people I've not seen at Gamers Guild. And Gamers Guild I feel like has like the biggest reach, you know what I mean?
For sure.
And it's literally a warehouse for gaming. Like it's insane that they have so much space, so many tables. Like it's crazy when we have to like fight over them.
You got a tug of war for the tables.
Yeah, you're like, yo, bro, these are Sigmar tables. You know, sometimes it's like that.
It does get tough, bro. It gets tight, and the real estate and the tables become high demand, bro. And you see people standing there with their little army on their back, just waiting for somebody to be gone.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tough, bro. But like, it just goes to show you that this thing is growing, bro. More people are picking up the hobby and things hobby adjacent to it, and wargaming isn't this like little niche thing that people are like, what's that?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
The people I see there, it's always surprising, you know, like just I run into people, I'm like, I know you.
Yeah.
But you know what Warhammer is? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, Gamers Guild, it's astonishing how many people are playing card games, how many people are playing tabletop games. I think we've just hit a new, like, you know how like when D&D hit in the 80s?
Yeah.
I feel like that's happening right now for tabletop wargames.
It is. I think COVID happened and then like everybody had a bunch of time to like sit there and do them, you know what I mean? Which was sick. So it's just like we all had like this chance where it's like, cool, like I can do things that not just work, you know? So it's just like, I gotta find something I enjoy. Like, and it's like you can see everybody jump real big into the hobby and painting, wargaming, all that kind of stuff was like a big deal.
There's such a passion, bro. Like you see it on Friday nights, we see it in the GTTs and the RTTs.
It's wild. The Friday nights is wild to me that many people, like, all those people show up, and it's cool. Like, now that we've gone like a few times, it's very cool. I enjoy it.
It's not hard to find a game, bro. I have a game Monday afternoon.
I don't even plan my games anymore at this point. I just like, hey, I'm gonna be there at this time, and whoever's there at this time, we can play a game.
Impromptu showdown, bro. Yeah. Like, yeah, absolutely.
If you ever want to play a game with me, just show up. I usually get there around 4:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friday nights at Gamers Guild, you'll find old Team Reckless over there.
Bro, we're there always every Friday. Zach's there. Ben's there. There's like a regular squad of people.
There is a lot of regulars.
Dude, Brad is always there.
Yep. Yeah.
Nick, my boy, my fellow Sylvaneth brother.
Consistent players always
Dude,
there.
always playing.
Dan.
Joel.
Yeah.
Dan's been showing up. Dan is super sick.
Erica.
They had a crazy game, him and Colton yesterday. That was super cool.
That looked interesting, yeah.
Speaking of which, let's actually jump right into games that we played this week.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about them.
We had quite a bit going on. We took a little break, we had the new season start, took some time away. When you're training, like, it sounds silly when you're training for a tournament, but it's so much work when you care as much as we care.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going in, I want to have everyone have a good experience, but like, bro, I'm not going to lose.
Yeah.
Like, I want to do well. I want to make sure I'm doing the thing. That's one thing I learned from Magic. The Gathering is like, if I got to do the thing, even if I lost, man, it doesn't feel too bad.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And in Sigmar, there's a lot of times you don't do the thing.
Sigmar, it's a lot of just watching the other person win sometimes.
Yeah. So I've been it was nice to kind of take like a little break, but I was super hyped to get back. I'm not gonna lie. The whole time that we didn't play, we took like a week and a half off.
Yeah.
Which I know it doesn't sound like very long, but for us, we play like a lot. We do. We're real into it. And
recreation is important, bro. Like, we all have, work and family and, life stress. You need that thing that decompresses you, that recreational thing. And it's too damn hot to shoot hoops. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we everybody in this city knows that, like, during these hot-ass months, you stay your ass inside, and this is the perfect hobby to have that, because every aspect of this hobby takes place indoors.
Yeah.
Doesn't take up too much space if you don't let it. And and it's just so much fun to do with each other. It's fun to do with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, you can 100%. You can do it by yourself, and you can do it with people. That's the best. Like, the best part is when you start doing it with other people. Is the best part. You know what I mean?
I would be sad if I had to move away,
Not just over there whacking it anymore. You're actually like, oh, I have somebody else here with me.
Yeah, you're like, somebody here to share the load.
Yeah.
Sorry. Ridiculous.
But let's start our game. We got a couple games in. I know I got 2 in. You got 2 in, yeah? At least 2, right?
Yeah. You and I got a game in
Tuesday. It was very exciting because we had played each other since before the tournament.
Yes.
So to me, I'm not gonna lie, I had a blast.
It was fun, yeah.
It was one of those, like, this is probably how Blake felt after the tournament. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
He was like, cool, like,
something
we just did this super stressful thing, and now we're gonna have fun. We're gonna just run fun stuff, and it's the same thing that we did, but it's like we just did it now 5 sweaty games. Now we can just like, we're gonna do our thing.
Now we can relax and just goof around while we play and see what works and doesn't work.
That was the really cool thing. It was like we got to like make each other better. You know what I mean? It was absolutely. Like, hey, you do this. Like, do you see this opening? Like, take advantage of this. You told me a couple of like different little things. Like, hey, dude, move over here in this spot, and this will help you in this spot. I'm like, that's, once you brought that to my attention, it really helped.
I really like how after every turn we're like, hey, do you see something I should have done?
Yes, exactly.
What would you have done?
Yeah.
And then we're like, okay, cool. We give each other that feedback. I like that. I saw Zach and Brad doing that.
Yeah, the coaching session was so smart.
Yeah.
I even walked over to Zach. I was like, are you charging people to do this? Like, can I just come hang out with you and you'll do this? Like, sick.
Doing that with me, he's just going to find out, like, it's been 6 weeks. Why aren't you winning, Jesse? That is it.
Yeah, right. He's going to be like, You just always roll 6s, huh?
Yeah.
Like, well, no, I mean, sometimes it's 4s, but it only needed to be 2.
I'm literally saved by my rolls, bro. I'm saved by my rolls.
No, I like it. You just played that, like, wild, like, I'm going in, and it's like, if you miss these rolls, you know, like, you're really going to be in a bad spot, but you don't miss them.
Look,
you're like, this motherfucker just
60% of the time it works.
That's it.
Every time. And when it's on 3s, it does feel like 60% of the time.
It does. When I see it's a 3, it's like, so you just hit it. For me, that's like a 2. You know?
For
sure. You, it's a 3. It was nice though. I did switch up this list when we played from what the tournament was. It was mainly the same thing. I did take out Durthu.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I love Durthu. Durthu is one of my favorite models. He was like my first like big hero model that I painted and was really proud of and liked him. I liked his base a lot. He's really sick.
He's been a mainstay of your army since I've known you.
Always. It's like Durthu. He's like the big Kurnoth hunter.
For sure.
You know, and I love the Kurnoth hunters. And it's like, so I did take him out, but it was nice because he's so many points.
Yeah.
I realized like, oh, my army is really good if I just spam stuff.
Free up that list, yeah.
I took him out and I added in a unit of Twistwield. I added in the Warsong Revenant, which pretty big. And then I added another unit of Spike Revenants and another unit of Dryads. And it did feel like I added a lot, especially I'm running scouting forces.
So you have an army, a proper army.
It does feel that way, especially when I'm deploying things. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to stay in this 12-inch bubble around the Warsong Revenant for that ward, you know? Yeah. And it's like, oh, I'm running out of space. And I also got to be obscured if you shoot, you know? So it's like I'm trying to like plan that out. I've learned, shout out Jed for he gave me one of those 9-inch bangers like you see that everybody else at House of Hobby has. It's like the cardboard one.
Yeah,
it's like, it must have came from some kind of Kill Team kit or some kind of kit,
It's just super useful.
But I used that. I used the one that Ben made us, the banger that Ben made us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just used that I just set it down around the tree and I set it down around the Warsong Revenant. It's like, this is my bubble and I gotta stay in this bubble. That's my deployment.
I too have a bunch of just like little measuring tools that I've acquired, like, and nothing fancy, but it's just a nice little accoutrement. I can set up a few.
Well, when you see like Rick's, you know, Rick's he pulls out this sick ass kit. It's like it's like a magnetic board with a bunch of different magnetic measuring tools, and it's like, that's dope.
Yeah, Garen has one of those too, just a beautiful one, and I'm like, I
jealous.
want that.
But that was one big thing I switched up, and it felt different because, like I said, I'm so used to having that. Like, dude, Durthu's a big threat. There's a lot of people that I met in the tournament when I played them. They're like, I'm like, do you know what Durthu does? And they're like, no, not really, but I know he'll wreck you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's exactly what he'll do. And they're like, what does he do? I'm like, well, he gives you strike last, and then he hits, and all of his hits do 4 damage and then 3 damage.
Yeah.
So
it's just disgusting.
It is a nasty profile, and it's like if I don't even roll good, and I still hit with him like pretty hard. So it's just when I can still smack with him, like very nice. But it was crazy. It was more because normally I'm used to being like real aggressive. You know what I mean? I'm like that. I'm running a bunch of big monster, a bunch of big units, a bunch of big like hammers, and I'm hitting you, and I'm just trying to fight you. This time it was more about control. I had a lot more stuff going on the board. I have Dryads. I love Dryads. We've been shouting out Dryads and glazing them for the last like 2-3 weeks. And it's only gotten worse, bro. It's only gotten so much worse. Like, even when we went in and played it and you popped a bunch of them with your new units and it was fucking... I still felt fine.
Yeah.
You know? I need to remember to do my fucking Glade Defenders battle formation because I always forget it.
I'm calling it right now, bro. You're going to start seeing them in a lot of lists here coming up soon.
I agree. You're going to see that. You're going to see the Revenants. They have those other Revenants that a lot of people think died. Like, they're like, no, these aren't good anymore. But I think they're going to be good. If you charge them, they do 2 damage, 3 attacks. They're pretty good. I think they'll do better. It just sucks that they took their teleport away. But it was a lot of fun. How about you? Your list? I haven't played you with this list yet.
Right. So you haven't played me after I included Carthalos, the Vanguard Hunters with long strike crossbows. Yeah.
It was weird because we've been playing for like this whole time, and it's just like all of a sudden it's like, oh, you got a new sword. You know what I mean? Like the new armor. Like like it's weird. It is very odd because we like I said, we always just train together. So
having a big brick of shooting that is, Ren 2, damage 2, it has just changed the entire dynamic of my army. Like, you can't simply just run into me now.
Yeah, you definitely... I like how you're, like, You were a very aggressive list before, and now
was.
you still are very offensive, but it's all in a very defensive state.
Yes.
I like how you made a lot of moves, and I was like, oh man, it was. So I played I don't know if you played the chess app. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's there's a little AI coach, and you'll make a sick move, and it tells you superb. You know, it's fucking,
that's how you felt playing.
that's when you did that. You moved the units it was the guys who shoot, the ones that are not the
Vigilers.
Yes.
I moved them up with Bastion
You moved.
move.
Well, I wasn't so much that part. It was the second part. Is their turn when you moved them up and you covered. You didn't put them on the points, but you put them just outside the points where if I got on the point, you were gonna shoot me.
Yes.
And I thought that was this motherfucker. Yeah, I was I got something for you, and it was nice because I did see you try to prep as best as you could for sending Tzeentch in because you knew I already told you the sauce. I'm
yes.
I dropped the tree in here, and then I pulled out my secret sauce where I pulled out the little tree, and you're like, motherfuckers.
Yes, I like that. Tzeentch peekabooing from the trees is a really cool move. It's a really good early game, disrupt the enemy's plans.
Yeah.
So, I like the move a lot. It's scary. It took a whole unit of Vigilers, out of the game pretty much.
Well, it did that, but you fucking countercharged your Quester Soulsworn right into her.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about Tzeentch, she's super sick, but she'll pop.
Yes. Yeah. A wounded unit of Questors still were able to put the finishing touches on her.
Yeah, and they did. That's exactly what they did.
Mm-hmm.
They did what they were supposed to do. The Quester Soulsworn. I don't know. I have a lot of respect for the Stormcast. I even tried to get her out of that counter charge range. You know what I mean? You saw how it was no, she's gonna be on this side, and you're well, I'm gonna charge over here. I'm like, fuck. I looked at your command points, and I seen you had 2 left, and I was like,
yeah, there goes.
maybe you want to use those. He's got other stuff to do. He's got all out attack, right?
I'm like, no, threes is good enough.
He'll sit over there. You fucker.
That's the biggest lesson I've actually really learned about all out attack and all out defense with my army is when your profile is 3s into 3s, you don't need to use those.
All attacks, all defense.
All attack, all defense, yeah.
That was one thing, even for me, I was learning that so my army now is really command point heavy. You use a ton of command points.
Yeah.
I have a new list now with the Grove Guard unit. It's 1950 just so I can get the free command point in the beginning. So I can do that, you know what I mean? I'm excited. But that game that we played was a lot of fun.
With our games, it's just a lot of, it's training, bro, so it's a lot of just I go here, you go there. I'm gonna stop you from doing that thing you usually do. You're gonna stop me from doing that thing I usually do. And
my favorite is when you're the free deploy at a shooting range.
Yeah, I hate
that is my favorite thing because we both are really good at I'm gonna shoot your ass now. And then the other one is I'm gonna spend 1 command point. I'm gonna redeploy. And you roll it, it's 3. And you're like, you motherfucker. You measure it, it's literally just outside. And you're like, God damn it. So I have a 12-inch shot.
Yeah.
You move 12.5 inches. It's not even 13 inches. It's just you're just outside shooting range.
That's what makes the 18-inch shot and dropping out of Vizier at 9 inches just devastating. You cannot get out of the way.
That or people have artillery. That's super intimidating. But yeah, that's your thing now is you drop in, right?
Yeah.
Drop at 9 inches and shoot 18, so you can try to redeploy unless you can redeploy 10 inches.
Right.
I'm gonna shoot you.
So it used to be the prosecutor bomb, right? But that was 300 points, bro, and I felt like it was only useful for 1 turn. Whereas these Vanguard Hunters at 400 points, they're doing what the prosecutors were doing, but with staying alive.
So and I noticed with our new list because it's different play styles than how we normally played, right? You remember last season I was monsters.
Yeah, monster mash.
That's the monster mash. I'm gonna come in and
heavy alpha.
Who hits? Everybody hits. You or same thing. I'm gonna just so you know, turn 1. I'm gonna rush in. I'm gonna smash you. And if you can't take that smashing, you're not gonna have a good time.
It hurts having 3 tree lords into your favorite unit.
It sure is, and it's one of those you're oh, you can go first, and it's fine. And I'm in a castle, so it's go ahead, run in. Tzeentch is right here, and so is Durthu, and so is this tree lord who gives you strike last. Yeah, so it is. I can see It's very much like it's just a different play style that we're running now. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So it's super super cool to see that. Speaking of our games, let's get into our Gamer Guild games. We played on Tuesday. Super fun game. We only played like 2 turns in, but we both accomplished our battle tactics. That was the important thing.
Yes.
We scored primary and we got battle tactics.
Yes.
So we scored very good, and it was one of those like. This game doesn't matter. What we need to do is make sure that we're doing the thing, so that we're used to doing the thing. Yeah.
I think you, tactic-wise, are in the best place you've ever been.
Thank you. I think I feel the most confident now, which is like once we talk my Gamers Guild game on Friday, it's one of those. I don't feel like that reflects my feelings of how good my army is right now.
Yeah.
I think we just got a really good book, to be perfectly honest, and I think my playstyle, it matches perfectly for this playstyle. Yeah.
Sylvaneth, like their book was so amazing that you saw this like huge explosion of popularity. Everybody was snatching up models and talking about building lists and wanting to represent Sylvaneth. But yeah, you've been riding with them, bro.
Yeah, I want to be at least a standout. You know what I mean? It sucks because like they are becoming like a big thing. You know, I would think for you it would be that way. I thought that's how Stormcast would be out here.
I thought so too.
It's not the case for us.
No.
Like there are Stormcast players, but not like there's probably more Sylvaneth players.
Definitely.
Like a lot more. And it's just like I didn't notice it before, and I think everybody had Sylvaneth stuff, but they just didn't play it.
Possibly, yeah. I mean.
That or they got together 2,000 points real fucking quick.
After you guys got the Grove Guardian and the book, it just changed everything.
I agree. The book is huge because it changed all of our stuff. They fixed a lot of problems. I'll give Games Workshop a big shout out as you guys really like solidified the game and made it like solid. You know what I mean? Like they really streamlined everything, made it very easy. The like stuff that was kind of broken before they fixed. Like nobody wants to buy 3 sets of trees, bro. I didn't want to buy 3 sets of trees. I didn't. I'm very happy I didn't.
Yeah.
And now like I feel like nice. I got by with just the 2, and one of them I got in like a set. Like I bought a lot. So it's like
I'm
it
seeing
came with
the
a set
posts
of
in the
trees.
Discords. They're like, does anybody need trees?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, y'all got some trees.
I think getting some trees is gonna be easier than it's ever been.
Yeah. Well, now it's gonna be like I might pick some up just to like for bases. You know.
Yeah.
I really like how Nick did his Alarial. His Alarial is sick.
Yeah.
Where he put the tree into the base, like he incorporated it like really well.
Yeah, those trees are really nice. You know, you could turn them into places of power.
Yeah, so you played, but let's get to our games. You played Tzeentch and Rick the man.
Rick, the Lord of Change himself, the Conversion King. Yeah, I played his Tzeentch army. I'd never played Tzeentch before, so this was exciting. Got to see the swippy swappy mechanic, how on the hero phase he can swip a unit out with something that's in the sky or the Sylvaneth version of his ear.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was such a cool list, and it was such cool mechanics, and he had like 60 Zangor or some crazy number on the field, and whenever you have to deal with that much infantry, it always gets a little spicy and fun. But he was able to outscore me pretty well throughout the whole game. Rick's a pretty adept player, in my eyes at least. But we never stopped having fun, and we ended up calling the game going into the 4th round just because I don't think I was able to catch him score-wise, and it was getting a little bit late. But yeah, super fun. Rick, thank you for the game. Thanks for showing me Tzeentch and getting me up to speed on what they do. And yeah, I like the army. I like what they do, and I'm excited to see more. And what's cool about a Tzeentch army is that like when you're a conversion guy like Rick, like Tzeentch is the only explanation you need. They're like, why is this like this? You're like, Tzeentch, baby.
Yeah, it is. And what I like is like, what really shows Rick's like skill level at the game is that he's good at Tzeentch, because there's so much stuff going on. I think to really pilot them well, you have to be a very knowledgeable player. You have to do all your homework. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to like your whole thing is just there's so much, bro. I was even joking to him. I was like, your battle tome, like everyone has like a regular book, Yeah. His looks like an encyclopedia. You know what I mean? Like it's just like fanned out. You're like, why is that battle tome so big? You're like, because you have so many fucking rules, bro. Like, you have so much. He pulled out this like. He has like it's cool because he like what he does is he's really cool. Is he prints out all of his rules for you and laminates it and gives you this nice card, and he's like, hey, this is all the shit I'm gonna do to you.
Yeah.
And it's just like. nice. It feels like you're getting lubed up, you know what I mean? Like, he's like, here you go.
You know what I like about Rick? You know, if you forget something or you meant to do something, he'll let you go back. He'll let me.
Yeah.
That's all I ever want somebody to do is let me.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I'm like, I forgot to rally this. Can I
rally this? Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, no,
it's
no,
the
let
shooting.
me.
That's the shooting phase, and I'm shooting you, and I killed 3 of your units. You're like, yeah, well, I was gonna rally this guy in the hero phase.
Let me.
Yeah, let me.
Just let me.
Oh, I rallied 3. The 3 you killed, those are the ones I rallied. So we're good.
I would have rallied 3, and you would have killed those 3. Can we just leave things the way they are?
You just took a shot. That's terrible.
No, but yeah, I don't think I would have liked playing that army if somebody else had to explain it. Rick was super chill about it.
Yeah.
He made it easy to understand what the hell was going on. And yeah, I liked it. I'm looking forward to playing again against them and playing against Rick. So,
did you guys have any like big moments in your game that like really stood out?
Bastion Carthalos whiffed 4 attacks that were 2s into 2s.
Oh no!
Yes, sir. Rolled 4 1s.
Ouch! Yeah.
And that would have been 16 damage.
Yeah, Bastion slaps.
So 16 damage. You just see it go down the drain.
Like,
on a 80% roll.
Yeah.
So that's how I know there's a Lord of Change. That's how I know there's some Tzeentch activities happening when you play Tzeentch. That being said, he did roll 2 miscasts.
He rolled 2. Dang, that sucks.
So I was like, the Lord of Change giveth and taketh away, bro.
Well, I mean, he planned it, right? Yeah.
Right. He's like, I had the faith points to cover that.
He knew this was gonna happen.
Fate points too. Fate points are a motherfucker. You can just ignore damage and give it to the fate points. Like, oh.
Did you have any big moments where there were like real trouble for you that he was doing that you didn't see happen?
Yeah. So I didn't know when when you're running intercept and recover and they assign treasures to their units and they do the swippy swappy mechanic. When the unit leaves the battlefield, it drops the treasure. Now, if another unit is within 3 inches, they catch the treasure. Like Rob Gronkowski. But if there is no unit there, then they fumble it, okay, and then you just automatically get the treasure.
They went from what, Anthony Hernandez to what is the other guy, the other Hernandez who murdered those people?
I think it was Aaron Hernandez.
It went from butt fumble to Aaron Hernandez.
Something like that.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, obviously he knew that, so he never fumbled the treasure. He always made sure there was another unit there.
He fumbled him into Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah, he did some absolute killers.
Yeah. These are Zangors enlightened.
Discs.
Oh, cool.
I'm like, oh, they got the treasure now.
He's like, yeah, 5 attacks. And you're like, oh, 3 damage apiece because they charged.
But I'm trying to get better at other attacks. I've been doing Wrathful and Restless the whole GHB.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. So we have that new thing that we're looking into. So like, it sucks because we're like, I'm locked into my tactics. I feel good to accomplishing them like how you did. I didn't feel like that before. Now I do feel like that.
Yeah, where it is now.
Yeah.
Just in time for it to change.
Just for it to change, and I'm gonna be like, you motherfuckers, and then we're going into this new thing, and it's like, you're gonna change right now, dude. Right then, it's like it's just the same. It's like my Sylvaneth book all over again. You know what I mean? Like this. I just did a brand new book this day. You're gonna change the JHB, so like the tactics that day.
There's a hunch in the community that the new GHB is going to incentivize or buff or otherwise like promote using infantry units.
Yes.
Which I like because I feel like this edition where it's at now can be sometimes a little monster cavalry heavy. And like the cavalry heavy armies or the monster heavy armies are kind of a little bit at an advantage over the like heavy infantry armies.
I'll tell you, Friday, when we played Friday, it was very cavalry heavy. Everybody was running cavalry.
Yeah.
Ben, our boy Ben, fucking
shitload of eels.
So all eels. It was all eels and then 2 heroes so that he could have 2 regiments of eels.
Yeah.
And I was like, you literally can't add any more eels, can you? And he's like, no. And I was like, Jesus. And then
Colt had the Raptidons.
Oh yes, he did. That was a sick game to watch.
Yeah.
I liked watching their game.
A bunch of Raptidons.
It was him and Sancho,
and he had the derpy ostriches from the freaking Sylvaneth.
Yeah. I said the derpy chocobos.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're sick. That game was sick to watch. I stayed and watched their game. thousands.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so dope that like in our backyard we just have like some of the best players in the country in the world. You know, just chilling over
right there.
here. Like, oh, sick! I can just watch you guys play on Friday night. Like, sick.
Yeah,
You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Like, it made me feel like just like, oh, this is dope. I could just hang out here.
Yeah.
I've gone on a couple Fridays now where I didn't even play at all. I just watched people play.
For sure.
Yeah, it's been sick.
But yeah, hopefully the new GHB will help out, because our lists right now are super infantry heavy.
Yes, that's why I think our new lists are really built well for the new GHB.
Yeah.
I think that these new books that have been dropping have been incentivizing people for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping that that's what the new GHB builds into, because I think that in the books, like when it comes to writing, I think they're 2 years ahead of like what their release is.
Okay.
So they already have like the new edition written. You know what I mean? They already have the edition written if they follow the same structure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they can do that's.
And following that logic, then this new GHB is already written and.
Yes, and done.
And done.
They're actually working on the new edition.
Yeah.
Fifth edition. If they're following that same structure. But hopefully, it incentivizes us for this. We did really good.
We went into this edition with 2 armies.
Yeah.
We're coming out of this edition with like 5.
5 apiece at least.
5, maybe
that
more.
are 2,000.
Yeah.
I can't count how many spearheads and regiments are announced. I think between like me and you,
Yeah.
it's got to be like 15 spearheads at least.
Yeah, like
we could host a spearhead tournament where it's just like roll a dice and this is what you get.
You're just looking over at me and in my piles of shame, and I'm like, I'm in too deep, bro.
Yeah.
I'm in too deep.
Yeah.
Pull me out.
Yeah.
Pull me out.
I'm drowning. I'm drowning.
Yeah, but it's amazing, and I can only imagine that 5th edition is gonna just continue to hook us, bro.
I agree. That's what's gonna happen. But let's finish up our game topic. So Tzeentch, you called it after.
Yeah, called after 4. Rick was scoring impressively. I think he had a couple 20-point turns.
Did it hit you with the spell that changes your guy into the?
Like a spawn thing.
Yes, he did that to you.
I think that did happen, or something that like.
He did that to me twice, and I'm not gonna lie. Like it's one of those that happened to me, but I loved it. This is hilarious. I think that's the best spell in the game, hands down.
Yeah, although he failed a lot and miscast twice, he did have a lot of spells that went off, and they seemed pretty crucial. So
well, yeah, dude, he's rolling 7 spells, so it's like you could miss 2 of them and still hit 5 spells.
Yeah, I like the magic focus of the army. So yeah, it was really fun. It was a really good game. But yeah, that was my last game of the week, and it felt good to end it on such a fun and like rewarding game, because I hate it when you go into an army that you have not seen at all yet, because it's so blinding. You're like, I don't know what the fuck to expect.
You could just get stomped.
Yeah,
you don't even know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and I'm thankful that Rick's list isn't so punishing to like a newer person like me. You still feel like you can, even if like. It almost felt like he knew he was going to win. Lord of Change.
Yeah, well, somebody told him ahead of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know what's going to happen right now, but I can tell you what's going to happen.
He was half in the game and half in the future already celebrating.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why are you so happy? He's like, you'll see.
Yeah, but
fuck.
I definitely know, like, going into another game against Tzeentch, I'm way more prepared thanks to Rick, so thank you, Rick.
Agreed, yeah. Like, we got that one practice game, and it helped so much just playing him. Like, you do so much nonsense. I'm happy I can see, like, the maximum amount of nonsense someone can fucking do is that, and it's like, oh, okay, this is like the maximum. When if you can just bullshit me, this is it,
And those Zangor exploded, man, but rolling 60 some odd attacks, bro, like, how do you not have fun doing that?
Yeah,
he had a batch roll. He's like, I'm gonna roll 21 here, 20 here, 20. I'm like, man,
when we were playing, that's exactly. He's like, I'm gonna roll these, but they're gonna be in groups of 20.
Yeah.
Shit. You never want to hear that.
Yeah. And then it'll be weird numbers. She's like, all right, the first volley, only 4 went through. I'm like, all right, that's not so bad. And then the second volley's like 12 went through. I'm like, God damn it.
That sounds like you had fun, though. So, Tzeentch took it this week.
Tzeentch took it this week.
It's alright. Orda will get him back, bro. Sigmar's got us, so.
Yeah, Sigmar's got him back. What about you? You played...
I played Cities of Sigmar, man, and that game,
Order versus Order.
It went by in the blink of an eye. It went by so quick.
Dang, you blinked and it was over?
Yeah, it was over, bro. But we played one turn, and he, like, ran all his cavalry. I'll say it was a good game. I learned to... I learned he did come out and just crush me right away. You know what I mean? Not gonna lie, he just came out and smashed me. I did learn.
Man.
It was
you never want to see that.
It was one of those games I learned. I lost my deployment. You know what I mean? I didn't screen off properly. I probably should have stayed back a little further. He just ran cavalry spam. I think he had 20 cavs. You know?
Oh God!
Cavaliers plus the
and
hero.
he probably the marshal. Yeah. Oh God!
And just he has a lot of cool stuff. His tech is really good. You could see his list is like super meta for like his army. It was really good, very well built. It just ran straight in, smacked everybody, got in, and I left the wrong holes in my screen. I fucked up there.
Okay.
You know now, but I did. It was one of those.
So good lesson in screen placement.
Yeah, I'm very happy because I also learned like I don't. So since I can corrupt the terrain piece in my army, you know. I should keep that first one in the back so you can't charge it. And I'll just corrupt like a terrain piece in front of it, which will extend my range. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that should, like, I did learn that in that game. So it was one of those, like, oh, cool. I learned, like, a good lesson. The kid I played, he's a nice guy, you know. He played his army really well. He did really, really good. He scored, like, 20 points turn 1.
Whoa.
Yeah. But he went through with me. But it was nice. We got by really quick. Normally my games are really grindy, so I just gotta smash them out. Like, it was one of those at the end of turn 1. I think he went first, scored 20 points, and I scored like 5 points.
Oh.
So I was like, you know what, man? Like, I wasn't to the point where like I totally lost. I could have grinded the rest of the game out, but I just didn't want to.
Yeah,
I could invest time otherwise. Like, and it was nice to, like, I got to go around and watch. Again, like we said, like some of the best players in the world. Like, it feels like, you know, really good, like a really good meta. Our meta is really good, so I got to sit there and watch and bullshit with everybody. And normally I don't get to do that because I'm playing forever. You know, everyone went to lunch, and I'm like, whoever's playing me is stuck playing. You know, sorry, Rick.
Yeah, I bet he didn't see that coming. It's like nobody told you about this outcome.
Yeah, so my bad.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes the game is real quick and dirty, and sometimes it's just a long slog.
It is, like I said, I felt like I learned a lot.
But recognizing,
I'm happy. I'm not saying I'm happy I lost the game. Like I said, I'm here. I'm showing up to win. But man, I learned a lesson that day. It's like, hey, if you leave this gap, like, just don't do it. Stay back. Be more defensive. That's one of the things we're gonna talk about a little bit later. Is like. Patience. That's one thing I've really learned with this new army, this new battle traits, is like you need patience.
Sometimes when a game goes horrible like that, it teaches you what not to do right away.
Yeah, I agree.
So you can still, like, even if the game was, God forbid, 40 minutes, 25 minutes, and it's just you setting up and getting destroyed, you know, okay, next time that I'm in this situation, if I don't set up this way, I won't be destroyed immediately.
Exactly. That's exactly. You can. Well, it's like you're gonna look for like little cues. You know, like, oh man, he's doing this. I should be aware.
Yeah.
You know,
we ain't scared.
And then
of
you learn like the right questions to ask, and especially in these moments, like these games don't matter. You know what I mean? What they matter for is that you learned like a lesson. You know what I mean? So you can get better for the next game.
Sure.
Right? Because these aren't even measured.
Learn your army and your army's rules, and now once you're comfortable there, you can just start playing people to learn other armies. And that's kind of where, like, you become more adept of a player. Just kind of knowing what other people's things do. Again, you know what the hell fucking Cavaliers do and Cavalier Marshals do.
I agree. It's crazy. So we had both these two games. You know, mine, it was all like high speed and pressure right away.
Yeah.
Like, bro, he was coming in turn 1. He told me, like, he's like, yeah, my guy's like, I get +2 movement turn 1. So it's like, that's like my only formation. I was like, okay. So it's like you're coming in turn 1. Like, I already know he's going to go first.
Yeah.
So that told me, like, oh, I should have deployed a little safer, a little more back.
Yes.
After I talked things out at the end, I thought, like, I have some better strategies, like, especially if someone's running Restless, like, maybe don't hold all the points.
Yes,
you can.
make them take more.
Go ahead. You can have that one for free. You're already going to get more than me anyways. If you go first, like, go ahead and take it.
And you would do that against me, so you know that.
Yeah, I should have did that against him.
Yeah.
That's something that we'll talk about a little bit later, is that...
When me and Rick both forgot to put somebody on our home objectives during deployment.
Yeah, bro.
We both forgot.
Oh, so nobody owned it?
Nobody owned our home. So on my side, I didn't own my own objective. On his side, I didn't own his home objective. just out of pure negligence.
But it's pretty cool that we had just, you know, two different styles of games, you know. Like, I felt like the Vanguard treatment. You know, there's like, I'm just going to run these down here.
Yeah, you got to serve a hot dish of attacks, and you were supposed to just survive it all and then formulate a plan against it. It's really hard. Yeah, it's pretty nice, though. I like going Fridays, man. It's pretty cool. Like I said, even
even if you don't win, everyone's really cool. Everyone's really nice. So that's one of those things like, I'll always commend, Gamers Guild North and House of Hobbies for like hosting and providing this like environment for us where we can sit there and thrive,
Yeah. Winning definitely isn't everything, but you gotta taste sweet victory to understand why we're even hurting ourselves this way.
Exactly. Yeah. Because this isn't just about one of those like weeks of games. This is about what Season 3 is going to be for us. What we're doing differently and what we're trying to fix. So, with that, this whole next stretch is going to show what this is really about. Coming out of the last tournament, I think it's safe to say that we learned a lot. Some good, some painful, and some we absolutely threw that game and we know it. But that's kind of the point. Because now, we actually have something to build on. This isn't us just guessing anymore. This is us recognizing where we're making mistakes, where we're getting outplayed, and where we're just straight up just not thinking things through. Jesse, if you had to pick one thing from the tournament, what was the biggest thing that we needed to fix going into this season?
You never need to underestimate how far back you actually need to be. Don't be afraid to deploy on your very back line. Armies are coming across the board. 44 inches is not far enough.
Yeah, it's one of those. There's some armies you meet, and that's like their thing. Is they're like, oh, we're just gonna be in your face turn one.
Mm-hmm.
That's like what they're gonna do, and you like the board seems huge when you're like trying to buy a table.
Yeah.
You're like I need a giant table to play a 2K game.
Yeah, when you're setting up the little objectives and the terrain, and you're deciding who's the attacker and defender, the battlefield seems so massive.
Yeah, and then they have reinforced unit of Vanguard there, and you're like, oh, maybe this table's not big enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One turn later, their entire army's in your back line, and your everything you have on the field is tied up in combat. It's not a good feeling, bro. It almost feels like you're trying to like fight yourself out of a losing situation, like immediately turn one.
Yeah. Well, that, and it's just one of those like it's one of those things we learned right now. Like deployment could be you're fighting from the deployment. I deployed wrong. I knew better. I should have been better. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that we're both coming to terms with after the event.
Earlier in this week, I got a game in with a gentleman by the name of Eric R, and he plays Caradron Overlords. And it'd been a while since he played, so I guess he had pretty much skipped this whole edition. He played a lot in 3rd edition, but...
so all the obscuring changed.
All the obscuring rules were different, you know what I mean? Like, cover was different. And, he struggled a little bit, and he was even saying, like, in the early game, like, oh, I should have deployed this way. I deployed wrong. I kind of fucked myself over. And I get that. I was like, man, it must be like, troubling to come back to something that you were really familiar with, but now everything is different. Yeah,
well, everything's changed, so like you start making mistakes. You know what I mean? You just don't know like what the new meta is, the new thing. Especially when it comes to like shooting. I feel like that's huge.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think we both had like games that we probably should have won and we didn't. And it wasn't just because of like bad luck. I don't think it was like the matchup was bad. I think we just made bad decisions. And then after like looking at it later, there was times that like I was like, oh, I could have made these choices and like everything would have been very differently. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I was overcommitting too early, like when it came to like Drycha. You know what I mean? Sometimes I would just bomb run and it's like, don't always do that.
Don't show your hand right away.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of times I didn't necessarily think like, I was thinking now, this is going to satisfy now, but it's like I should be thinking, oh, well, how is his response going to be to this act?
For sure.
So it's just different, especially when you're in the tournament, you're just tired, so a lot of times I feel like you go into autopilot,
Yeah.
So there were times, especially like, oh, I should have done this and I did not do this. I don't know what I was thinking.
Sure, yeah, and sometimes like your plans get foiled or things don't quite go the way you anticipated. And you're almost kind of improvising your next actions now. Like, you're, like, trying to make up for whatever failed roll you just failed.
Yeah. That's one thing I think that's huge that's going to shift in, like, for us in this new season is that, like, now I feel like I was, like, trying to, like, make decisions on the fly, when we were playing.
Yeah.
And now it seems like, all right, cool. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. This is, like, already this turn.
There's some pre-thought.
After this point, I'm going to have done this unless you did this,
I could see that, even in our short game that we played earlier this week, that you're mapping out your moves a little bit better now. You're not just kind of, like, improvising the step as you're in it.
Yeah, it does feel a lot more. That's one of the things that's like, we were talking about earlier. It's gonna be fun because when we get new battle tactics. Because to be honest, I don't really like these battle tactics. But it's like, I finally figured out the ones I'm good at with this list.
I can, when you're playing competitively in GTTs and RTTs, and you're really seeing these battle plans a lot. They start to get long in the tooth, you know what I mean? And when a certain battle plan has always fucked you over, like keeps cropping up, you're like, all right, I'm sick of these battle plans.
Yeah, exactly. I think the battle plans might be one of the things I'm more excited to change.
Yeah.
These ones aren't like completely awful, you know what I mean? And in fact, there's actually some really good ones.
They're not, and I have a feeling that we might miss some of them, when the new ones come out.
Yeah, it's going to be like, remember Bountiful Equinox?
Remember when things were a surge of S laughter?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when it was all about Surge of Slaughter and Bountiful Equinox. It still is. I think me and Rick ran those battle plans. But, I think even me and Eric, when we played our game, we ran one of those too. But this it's time. It's time for a change. It's time for a shake-up. We need something new to do, something new to try to accomplish in the game.
Yeah, I think
the games aren't so samey.
I think one thing for me is like it's one of those I know I was saying earlier is that like it takes my games a long time, but I think I should like actually slow them down in my mind. Like I shouldn't just be so anxious to like shoot everything in right away. You know what I mean? I don't need to just spike you in all the way. I could be patient and wait until like turn 3.
100%. Like
so. Go ahead.
One thing that they were that I heard Zach saying when he was coaching Brad was like I think I heard Brad saying it while he was being coached by Zach, but he's like, does combat benefit like me as far as points go or my game plan right now? No? Well then I should probably just try to avoid it.
Yeah, because then you're just losing. Right?
Yeah.
I learned a lot from watching that little game that they were doing, the coaching game yesterday.
For sure.
So one thing that Zach was gonna say, that Zach was saying to me was like, he's like when I'm trying to score these battle tactics, he's like, I don't need to score them turn 1 and 2. He's like, I can score them turns 3, 4, and 5 and still get all of them and max out my turn.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? So it was like, that's actually very smart to think about. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because I'm always just trying to get them done as soon as possible.
Yeah. Well, I've seen like an advantage to almost where it feels like, especially now with my new list, like I am able to get like my tactics for the most part, especially if you deployed dumb and I took like a tactic from you right away. Mm-hmm. Like I'm probably going to get my 15 at least.
Yeah. I feel really confident getting my first 15. I have trouble getting the full 20 point, but I feel like I can put on a few 15 points like right away.
Yeah,
turns.
I think so. I agree. So it's one of those very different, But I think like I should try to like slow things down, so I'm not like I could, like I said, just shoot in Drycha later, and I think that'll go real big for the game for me. If I start like looking more into the turns, what do you think you can like kind of improve on this season?
Again, like when you're coming up against an Alpha Strike army, like just deploying farther enough back, you know what I mean? My army's whole thing is like I drop units from Azir, and sometimes it's confusing on when to know like when I should and shouldn't drop these things and where I should and shouldn't place them. All of my stuff once it's dropped only moves 5 inches, so you got to have a lot of forethought onto where this unit is going like 2 turns later after you drop it. So, like, as far as deployment, and because my deployment is throughout the whole game, bro, if you really think about it. If I'm dropping something from Azir, I'm not deploying it until turn 2, till turn 3. Yeah. And I'm almost playing the game without that unit. And it's nice, like, to be able to hide units, but you really see it on the field, like, when half your shit is hiding. Like, it almost feels like you have nothing on the board. Yeah. So if they can get into that next to nothing, it doesn't matter that half your shit is coming later if the first half is dead.
It's gone.
Yeah.
You have nothing to support.
Yeah. Blake put it perfectly to me. He's just like, I always thought Stormcast were a real, like, weird army because they hit hard, but not quite hard enough to kill what you're trying to hit. He's like, they can save, but not quite as well as you want them to keep enough alive. He's like, so there's always, like, this dichotomy of, like, how do I make it more efficient? Because the caveat with Stormcast is you get these safe rolls, but you have not that many models, and you don't have that deep of a wound pool. So
I think that's true.
You have to really. That's where like it's gonna make you a strategic player, because I feel like when you have a huge horde, like maybe they save on a 4 or 5, but you got 20 of them. You got 30 of them.
Yeah, it's when you're so elite, you know, like especially me and you both like to play like elite list.
Yeah.
You can't just throw your models down and just like, oh, let's play. You know what I mean? When you have like a big mob, you can just throw whatever down a little bit, you know. As long as you put your screens in the front, you're kind of fine because everybody's just gonna cover the board.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Make sure your bubbles are good, but just spam the board.
I'm gonna miss being able to teleport. I feel like a lot of my tech that I've like established and like mastered in the game revolves around the Stormcast's ability to teleport around, to drop from his ear, you know, to chant a prayer, to walk through a portal. Like they have so much like insta movement that it's gonna be strange, like actually like traversing the board traditionally like on foot when I move on to those armies. But yeah, deployment massive. If you feel like the enemy is going to come and alpha strike you, they're going to hit you with, you know, a chain activation fight, or, you know, fights twice but has strikes last, or just has 2 big bricks of blood knights or something, don't be afraid to deploy on your very back line, within 3 inches of your back edge.
Yeah. I was thinking about, so like even when I played my game against the Cities player, he had like we were talking, I was like, oh, I could have even deployed all my stuff, like he had Restless. And he was going to go first. I knew he was going to go first. He had less drops than me.
Yeah.
And he deployed super aggressive. I could see in the very beginning.
He was just right up there on the 13th inch line.
Yeah. So I knew he was going to go first. You know what I mean? Like I could have just deployed on no objectives. And it's like, oh, you're already going to get more than me. Because he was running Wrathful and Restless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like what you do where you deploy all on one objective, forcing him to go to the ones...
Yeah. It's like, you can take the free one.
Yeah.
Or you can come over here and engage my whole army.
Yes.
But I feel like his army is like it's like an alpha pin army.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Love
So
it.
he wants to kind of like run into your castle and just hold you off. He's like, and they like, I think it's 3 up saves and 5 up ward. A lot of them do. At least like, I don't know. He had a lot. Like,
It's
I
hard. Okay, so
I think there's like buffs that give them that, but I don't really.
Give me your take on this. So an army, let's just say it's the army you just played, a shitload of cavalry, right?
Yes.
They're lined up 13 inches up from their deployment line, so they're like right there on the razor's edge. You know they're coming across.
Yeah.
All right. Is it better to deploy in the middle, the left corner, or the right corner?
I would think it'd be one of the corners.
Right.
And whatever is more advantageous to you.
Right, depending on how the objectives are laid out on the battle plan.
Well, say you have like a lot of big shit. Like maybe you want to avoid all the small terrain.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then go in the other corner. Maybe, especially if you see them deploy in this corner and like you're an aggressive army, like obviously you want to deploy in the same corner as them. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I think middle. It just, if you're trying to be defensive, like they can come in from both sides.
Right.
As opposed to you can defend one side. It's a lot easier, like, you know, than having to fight off your back.
For sure.
You know what I mean? But I think that's one thing that's kind of cool about the games that we've been playing lately is like, you know, we've been like playing our games and like we've been watching Zach and Brad do that game, and it was that was a big thing for me is like we're like playing now and then talking out our turns of like, hey man, like what could I have done here? What should I have done here? What did you do here? What did you see here that you thought you could attack? So I know like not to do that.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that's gonna help us all grow as players. Have you noticed that kind of shift too? Especially since we came back from the tournament, I feel like it's a big change in our play styles.
Yeah, every time we come out of one of these competitive events, I feel like we're different players. We're reforged into like a stronger minded player. It may not show up immediately in our like follow-up games in the immediate aftermath of the tournament, but I do feel I'm a stronger player right now as I speak to you, the audience, than I was yesterday, than I was last week. I'm a stronger player. That is for certain.
Oh, I agree. After playing against you on Tuesday, it was crazy because it was just, like I said, a very different game, and you are a much better player.
Yeah.
Now that we came out of that tournament, it was real crazy that we went into just these totally different play styles. So it was really fun to do. So I think it was just a lot of fun. It's really great to see us like not just like playing games, but we're improving, we're learning, we're testing, and we're bringing you guys along for the entire process. The wins, the losses, the mistakes that we probably shouldn't make twice. And hopefully, by the end of this, we're not the same players that we were at the start. So, that's the goal, right? We're not just here to roll dice anymore. We're here to actually get better.
Yeah, like, it was enough in the beginning to just kind of like, you know, be kind of cavalier and not really too invested in the gameplay, you know, just kind of like inquisitively seeing like, well, what does this unit do, or what can I do in this situation? But now I feel like everything is premeditated, everything is thought out. The list building is so tight, bro. It's agonizing sometimes. Like, you're looking at this last 200 points, last 150 points, and you're like, how can I get the most out of this? And we've developed such a tactical acumen for the game, a better understanding of the rules and its restrictions. This can be painful, like losing so much. It can be painful, things not working out the way you like theory crafted in your head. But like I said, it's been so much fun to find the success even in the moments.
Yeah, well, it feels like now we're like kind of playing with like a purpose. You know, before it was like we were just kind of throwing models down and like eating them at each other, and it's just like, man, I hope the dice rolls go my way.
For sure.
You know, but we're not doing that anymore.
Something Blake said to me today that filled my heart with pride was that he's like, I can tell like you really love your Stormcast, that you wouldn't just like sell your Stormcast. And I was like, oh no, hell no, never. And I was like, I love these guys. Like, these guys, they embody like me. Like, I like the resilience of the Stormcast. Like, no matter how much you put them down, they're going to come back stronger and harder. And that's always been what drew me to the army, bro. I like how it's the few units versus the many hordes. Like, it's just a cool theme, and I love it. And I love how, like, I can just keep coming back like the Stormcast do. Reforged, more stalwart, a little more hollow in the mind.
Yeah. Especially after you do a 2-day GT. Definitely, I feel like you were forged after that. You know what I mean? You're like, I'm a much better fighter.
Yeah.
My brain is a little more numb now.
If you've ever, like, you know, got one game in and it was your, like, only game over the last, like, few weeks or months, it really feels special. And you're like, oh, God, I want to play some more. If you ever want to just get that I'm full feeling from Sigmar, go to a GT.
Yeah.
You will be like, I don't want to play Sigmar by the end.
Yeah, especially if you're playing with me.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to like go to your break, and I'm like, no.
It's crazy that a round of something can be 3.5 hours. Like, you know.
Dude, it goes by so quick.
But it goes by quick.
Yeah.
3.5 hours is standard.
Well, I think a big part of it is too is I'm always like, when we're playing, I'm like talking to you. You know.
Yeah.
I'm probably like bugging you. You know, I'm like, oh, dude, your army's really cool. Picking your brain. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So. It does, I can see, make the games take a little bit.
One of my favorite competitive games ever was with Garen at Scorched Earth. And it's because, like, there was so much small talk and so much, you know, just kind of like buddy, like table talk. And, you know, and Garen is a really adept player, and he's as challenging as it comes as far as an opponent goes, and he plays Feck.
He was the best death player, right? Or he was the best general?
In my eyes.
when we did the teams tournament, I think he got.
Oh yeah,
those.
I think so.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The one we just did.
Yeah, he just did that, and I think he plays very well.
Yeah, and but again, like even in that like stressful, like high intensity game, like he was able to keep it like fun and light, and I get to know him personally, and it was like really cool that this hobby just like it allows that. It's really a social thing. I know like. When you're building by yourself and painting by yourself and assembling minis by yourself, this can feel like a soloist's hobby. But when we're at these GTs, these RTs, bro, like, it really does feel like a family coming together, like for dinner on Thanksgiving, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like, especially now this was like our second one, so it felt really cool because it's like, we don't know everybody yet. We're still getting like introduced like to the scene a lot.
For sure.
Know? But it's like, oh look, there's this guy. You were here last time. I came against you. Good luck, you know. Everyone we met was super, super nice, and it was very like welcoming, and it did feel very comfortable, especially at Gamers Guild since we come play there every Friday.
Yes.
And it's like our little like meta that's like super sweaty as far as like everybody's really good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember there was one point we were talking, and you were like, oh, we can do this RTT, and it's like, maybe it won't be so like sweaty. I'm like, dude, I think it's gonna be these guys just showing up over there.
Yeah.
I think it's all these same guys who are really good here. They're just gonna go play over there.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really cool.
There's a hyper competitive scene out here in Phoenix and in West Valley and the East Valley and just all over Arizona. We're represented out here.
Yeah.
Age of Sigmar, you know, I can't speak on other states, but our state, it's represented it tough, and I really do appreciate that. Because, again, it's so hot, bro.
Yeah.
It's so hot. I can only imagine this is just something that people can do 24 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365, bro.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, bro. Like, so I set up like my hobby space in my room now, and it's just I'm just grinding through models. So it's
Oh my God.
It's like I'm just gonna sit here and chill, watching TV, throw on a battle report or whatever, throw on some Seasons of War.
Look, Blake showed me today how to paint, and he just filled me with so much courage and so much like confidence that I can't wait to paint some more models, man. Like the part of the hobby that I put at the very bottom of the priority list is rising quickly to the top, because it's amazing what a lesson can do for you, bro. And that's what these tournaments have been. That's what these hobby hangouts have been. That's what these podcasts have been, bro. They've been lessons, Sigmar lessons.
I agree. Actually, so I got a question for you. What was like a moment recently where you wish you had just kind of paused and like, you'd like now that we have the lesson, you're like, I wish I would have just thought of this through and just like not have done that choice, or maybe played this way and this way.
So I was just playing with Eric R, and he was KO, and we were playing over at Old World Games on Wednesday. They have a meetup, okay? So I was over there playing with him, and there was a point where I had all of my reclusions into one of his heroes and like one of the boats, right?
Yeah.
And the boat had 2 control score and the hero had 7 control score. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because the hero had 2 wounds on him and he only had like 6 wounds. I thought I could split this reclusion attack, 3 into the boat, 3 into the hero, and the crit mortals would probably take him out. Yeah. Didn't roll a single crit mortal. And if I would have just put all the attacks into the hero, I would have killed him and out-controlled the boat. So, but I was in a rush to just try to like get as much as I could out of this attack phase. I know if I would have like just stopped for a moment and been like, hey Robert, come look at this. Do you think I should put all my attacks into the hero or split it? You would have 100% like, oh, kill the hero.
Yeah, well, it's like just a gamble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At that point, which like I think would be a big gamble if it pays off, but it's one of those like, we could just be... You knew the right choice. You know what I mean? Like I could have just killed you and gotten.
I was like, I should have just killed this freak. Yeah, I would have scored better. And I just felt like, it sucks when after something happens, like, and you see it like the immediate turn after, you're like, why the hell did I just fuck myself out of 7 points?
This game makes you get greedy. So like for me, a moment like that, like when I was playing Brad, and right away, like I was trying to kill his thing, and just I yeeted Tzeentch into like a really bad spot. Like I should not have done that. I don't know why I did that.
Yeah.
It's like, I sent her in. I was like, yeah, she's going to kill these guys. And it's like, she did not. And actually, she got popped right away. And she had a treasure. So it's just like, I knew in my head, like...
Handed him a tactic.
What are you doing? Like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
That was very stupid.
Rough.
I could have just kept Tzeentch in the back, and she could have done no damage.
Rough.
And it would have been more effective than what she was. You know what I mean? So it's just like a lesson I learned there.
Yeah, the game is full of moments like that, bro. With every triumph, there's going to be like 6 downfalls.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, it's one of those, like, that's why you want to make good choices, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to blame the dice. And when it's like, oh, I did make a fucking risky situation.
Not to absolve the dice. I've seen the dice screw somebody. I've been screwed by the dice.
Oh.
Hell, I can't tell you how many times Rick was making a 6-up save.
Yeah, man, I was playing, it's crazy. I feel like for me, a 4-up save is like a 5-up save. And a 5-up save is like nothing.
It's like it's automatically going
through. Yeah,
through.
It just goes through.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's what it feels like for me. And so it's just, it's crazy when I see people and they're like, yeah, 4-ups. And doop.
Yeah.
5-ups, like I cannot play a 5-up army. If I do, I just know I'm going to die. That's why I'm setting squigs who pop.
There's nothing worse than when they're like 4s and a 2s and they just absolutely spike on the 4s.
Like,
and you're just praying for once.
Yeah.
You're just praying for once.
Please.
Yeah. For sure.
So it's one of those, like, the dice do matter, especially in situations like that.
Yeah.
But it's one of those, like, I think a lot of times early in the game where you realize, like, misplay. I fucked this up. I should not have put myself in this.
There is a weird kind of like superstition in the hobby though, like that some players, yourself I think of repeatedly, just don't roll hot.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, I agree. I 100% agree. I think some people do roll good and some people don't. And I think a real test of like good skills, like if you still do well and you don't roll well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's how you'll know if you're really good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I wish I rolled well. Because then I could play like a little more lazy and things would be a little more forgiving, Yeah. But or I'd be fucking really good. You know what I mean? One or the other. But at the same time, like, it just tells me like, don't make the big gambles, because I think there's a lot of bigger decisions that you can make where it's not such a gamble and I can win anyways.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And these new games are teaching me that. That's I think one thing that the tournament really taught me was to actually play like with intent, focus on one thing at a time, and slow your decisions down. And like to learn from your mistakes instead of ignoring them. And then doing that consistently, you will get better. Alright, before we wrap this one up, let's bring the energy up a bit. Because it's time for reckless reactions. Quick questions, no overthinking. First answer that comes to mind. If you hesitate, you're already wrong. Alright, so let's do a little warm-up real quick. So what's your favorite unit right now?
Oh man, Vanguard Raptors with long strike crossbows, bro. They're doing so much for me on the tabletop. They're just my favorite right now.
Perfect, I love it. After that, alright, who should I pick? Durthu or Warsong right now?
Warsong because of the prayer.
You like the prayer?
Yeah, I think that prayer gives your army a whole new utility that you need to tap into.
Alright, what do you think's better? Aggressive play or control play?
I like aggressive play right now just because it seems like you can put your enemy on their heel and they never kind of recover from it.
Alright, what do you think loses more games? Bad deployment or bad target priority?
Bad deployment for sure.
You agree? I agree. I think that's a great call. What's worse, rushing plays or overthinking?
Rushing plays.
Rushing plays?
For sure. Like, sometimes I wish I would have overthinked. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm going fast for the sake of just going fast. There's no reason to.
Yeah, agreed. What do you think is the most hated army to play against right now?
Oh man, it's got to be Slaves to Darkness Varangard, but I'm gonna put that eel list like right behind it.
Oh, it's that bad?
That eel list is just as freaking annoying.
Oh man, what's one unit you love that always lets you down?
That always lets me down?
Yeah, lets you down.
Oh man, Bastian Carthalos is shot and his melee just recently.
Oh yeah, you said the ones.
Yes, bro.
Man.
Like, twos into twos, I guess, is not as assured as you think it is.
Yeah. Alright, last one, best one. Are we going to go a positive win rate at the next event? Yes or no?
Yes, absolutely.
Let's go. That's the Mystic Mac prediction. We're going to go positive.
Yes, we are.
We're going to go 3-2 at least.
Yeah, at least 3-2. You know, we'll maybe see a 4-1, but yes, we're going to go positive.
I think we got this, man. I think I'm confident in you, confident in me, I'm confident in our team. Like I think we're gonna do well.
Look, the first belief is self-belief.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If I don't believe in myself, I'm not going to be able to convince you to believe in me. And I know some of you have played me that are listeners, and you know how good I am. You know what I bring.
Yeah, you know, it's like there's certain moments I could see, like when you say it, they're like, "What are you playing?" You're like, "Stormcast." Like, well, what's your list? And then you say the Raptors, and it's like,
all right. I hear those are pretty nasty.
Yeah. You've had that conversation a lot, huh?
Like, no, I only build chill lists.
Yeah, very chill.
Very chill.
It's super chill. I'm just gonna drop these outside of 9 inches. Chill.
Yeah, bro. But you know, we gotta keep trying, bro. We're gonna find success. And it's gonna be consistent here soon. I'm predicting it, bro. The Mystic Mac prediction, bro. We get a 4-1.
Let's get a 4-1. Let's do
One
something.
of us.
One of us. Let's get 4-1.
Oh man.
Let's try it. We'll see. Cause the matchups in this new thing is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, you know, those of you competing in the teams tournament, like you know that the competition is lit and it is high level. Anyone interested in joining a nice GT with 5-man teams, you know, there's one coming up here. Was it June 26th?
June 28th and 29th.
June 28th and 29th. So, you know, if you're in the Arizona area, come out to this GT, bro. And if you see any of the Rolling Recklessly members, come up to us, bro. We got a sticker for you, and we'd love to just chat with you and hear how you found the pod and how you're doing in the hobby.
Yeah, I'd love to pick your brain, see your models, if you have some cool stuff. If you come see us, come give us a shout out. We're gonna be at the Green Banner Teams tournament.
Yep, Green Banner
the
Teams
Heroes Cup, I believe it is.
Heroes Cup, yep.
Very excited. I know we just finished that tournament, but it's just not enough.
They love Team Reckless. They want us back.
They do. But I think that's going to be enough damage for this one episode. We'll revisit those takes later and see how well they age, good or bad. But let's close this one out with some shout-outs. Some big shout-outs from out here to the local scene. House of Hobbies, Gamers Guild North Phoenix. That's a great spot to play if you're looking to get games in, meeting new players, or just growing the community overall. If you're local and looking into getting into Age of Sigmar, and just find a fun group of guys to play with, people to play with, definitely check out Gamers Guild North Phoenix. As always, shout out to everyone that we've been playing games with this week, testing lists, talking shop. That's what makes this whole thing fun. Jesse, you got any shout-outs for us?
I do have some shout-outs. I want to shout out Old World Games. It's in Scottsdale, Arizona. Colt runs the meetup group there on Wednesdays. I'd like to shout out Eric R., who was my opponent coming back for 4th edition. He's going to be competing in the 5-man tournament, so glad to have you back in the hobby. Glad to have a cool and chill dude to play with. I want to shout out Hobby Forge over there in Surprise, Arizona. Great shop. Congratulations on 1 year of business. I wish you the best coming into this next year. I'm sure you guys are going to stay open. You guys have a great community. I'm currently participating in their Path to Glory League. So
shout out Hobby Forge.
Yeah, Hobby Forge. Congratulations, 1 year. Let the trumpet sound. I'd like to shout out Joel and Erica from House of Hobbies. They're just keeping us engaged, bro.
Yeah. Dude, those guys.
Keeping us fed.
Me. So I was asking, I was like, dude, you got to be busy, right? And he's like, we have one weekend that we get that's like there. Like, that's them,
Sigmar's life.
Yeah,
for them,
so
sure.
it's crazy. I commend them, I appreciate them keeping us well fed.
Shout out, big special shout out to Blake from House of Hobbies, and love you, man, and thank you so much for teaching me how to paint today. If you guys get a chance to run into Blake at Gamers Guild or wherever he plays at, really pick his brain. He's just got such an artistic mind for model painting. And welcomed me into his home, and it was what I thought an artist studio would look like. Just monument to his art, and just such a good and fun time. Thank you so much. That was just some of the most fun I've ever had painting today.
I feel like if you run into Blake and you see his models, like you're gonna remember his models, and then if you go and talk to him, like he's just like a memorable guy. He's just that you're just like he's.
His dry brushing shines a little bit brighter than the rest of ours.
Yeah, it does. And it's so simple. He makes these happy little mistakes.
And then my final shout out is to Hank. Hank is a local player who plays over there at Tabletop Wargamers in Goodyear. Hooked me up with some nice OCR Bone Reaper units for the low. He knew they were going to a good home, so he gave me a good price. They will be used. They will be loved. They will be tabled.
Let's go. Shout out Hank. Yeah, thank you for taking care of my boy.
For sure.
Yeah.
But that's it for shout outs, man. Blake's going to be joining us, hopefully, on next week's episode. He's a busy man, but he's going to be giving us a little bit of 411 on painting and how you can, just put the paint to the model and stop making excuses and just start painting. So tune in next week on what you need to know to just start painting. Damn it.
Yeah, I think it'll be nice because we'll get to see like a different perspective, from like who me and you always talk. We talk a lot to each other. So
absolutely, you know what I mean.
It'll be awesome to see like a different viewpoint on how to actually dry brush.
Yeah, for sure. We are not the experts on the artistic side of this. We're not the experts on any side of this.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why it's so cool when you can meet like someone who's like, nice, you're good at this part.
Yes.
Like, sick, I want to talk to you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I want to pick your brain. I want to hang out with you. I want to party with you, Neil.
I want to party with you, please.
So if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow, share it with your friends group, help us keep growing the community. You can find us over at YouTube and Instagram at Rolling Recklessly Podcast. More content, clips, updates coming all season long. And until next time, may your crits be high, your paint never dry, and your rolls ever reckless.
Hell yeah.
Welcome to Rolling Recklessly, where the battle lines meet the sky. May your crits be high. wish you got 'em.